All right, my car's about a week old, so time for some mods. What's going on, everyone? Back with another episode of Stuff and Things. As you can tell by the title of this video, we're lifting and doing some first wave of modifications to my 2018 Crosstrek. I'm down here today with my cousin Nick, who you might remember from the T-in coilover install that we did on my STI. Before, we did it in his garage, kind of tight with just a jack and everything. As you can see, we're in a new place, his new place called BN Imports. B is over here.
Here's B.
I'm the B.
This is the B, this is the N.
How do we look?
You're good. So I asked these guys, how would you describe like what you do here at BN Imports, and besides being handsome, how would you describe what you guys do?
We are an automotive sales and service shop, so are selling cars and we are actually fixing cars, but we're more focused on the performance aspect. I don't know if you want to pan over there.
Yeah, we'll show you guys all the other stuff. This car is very boring. This is the least important car
but
here
this is
right
still
now,
performance rather than just changing your water pump.
Yeah.
But we specialize in Japanese and European cars, so you can check us out at bn-imports.com if you want some more information.
I'll leave all the links to their stuff in the description down below. Let's show you what we're looking at over here in the rest of the shop.
Anyway, so here is a small tour of our shop. This is my beautiful office filled with a lot of cool cars.
A lot of cool cars. So when I want to buy a Huracan in the next couple of years, I can come and you can find it for me?
Yep.
Sick.
That's my job.
That's your job.
So we have 2 bays over here, 1 lift. We have awesome polished concrete floors.
This is what was hiding behind the camera when we were talking about performance. I'm pretty sure this turbo could suck my whole arm in there and just rip it off. If you guys would have known about BN Imports a little bit sooner, this guy was for sale, now is currently sold, so they're just waiting for the owner to come pick it up. Pretty fresh.
So we have these 2 bays over here, and then on this side, we have a 3rd bay where Bill is residing, and this is his fabrication shop.
Yeah, we're still getting set up over here. But yeah, we do full fabrication from, you know, something simple like welding a coolant flange to welding up a full roll cage, bending the tubing, motor swaps.
Speaking of motor swaps, this is a BRZ up here, and what is in this right now?
2JZ.
2JZ. Low-key V12 sitting underneath here. All sorts of machines that are in the process of being set up, right?
Yep. We just acquired this bay. This was actually rented to someone else when we started renting the place, and about a month ago we got this side, so.
You're expanding already.
We're expanding.
Think this will fit in the Crosstrek?
You know what that's from?
Nope.
An SRT8 Cherokee.
Really? So maybe it will fit. So you guys probably saw the video when I picked this up last weekend. If you haven't, I will leave a link to that video right here. I really haven't even taken a picture or like a proper walk around video of the car, so this is gonna be it. It's kind of tight since we're in the garage already, but this is a before shot. All stock, everything. I already removed the splash guards that came with the car, and I replaced them with these rally armor flaps because I'm also putting wheels and tires on that are bigger than the stock. Really not much to see here. That's about as basic as it gets. So today the first thing that we're gonna be doing is installing a lift kit by Subtle Solutions. If you guys are into Crosstreks, which you probably are because you clicked on this video, there's a good chance that you've heard of them already. Here's what a piece of this kit looks like. It's a simple aluminum bracket here. This basically mounts right on top of the already existing suspension. This being 1 inch, this being 1/2 inch. New bolts because these are gonna be longer sitting on top of the bolts that we have to knock out. It'll make more sense once we get everything off the car and I show you guys. We have the rear spacers as well, same setup as the front, as well as a whole rear alignment kit. Also got some other odds and ends here. I got the wheels and tires on the other side of the car, which I'll show you in a bit. I have adapters from Subtle Solution, center caps that match with the Subaru. I believe that's pretty much it, so I guess we can get started.
Let's get this party started.
Let's get this party started. First thing we gotta do is get this thing up off the ground. Really thankful that these guys are helping me do this because doing this on jack stands with a jack would not be easy, so a lift is gonna make this 10 times easier. First time popping the hood on this thing. So this is what the motor compartment looks like of the 2018 Crosstrek. As you can see, a little bit more power than previous years. Just kidding. This is the actual engine bay. Nice and slow. Hey, it does what it needs to do though. It will never ever be this clean ever again. What's gonna be nice about this, and I'm not a mechanic as most of you guys know, but it's gonna be super easy to get everything off. Since the car is brand new, nothing's rusted, it's really not that dirty yet, so install should be a little bit easier than it was putting the coils on my STI. We're gonna start with the front assembly first because it's gonna be a little bit more straightforward than the rear. The rear includes the alignment kit, which we'll show you, but this, we basically just drop the whole strut off, put this on top, new bolts, and mount it right back up. So for the front, you have to remove the sensor, the brake line, these couple of bolts here, thing for the, what is it again? Sway bar end link. I'm not a mechanic, and this should drop free. Here is a shock. We're gonna have to knock out these bolts to replace them with the new longer bolts to accommodate the actual spacers. Unfortunately, to pull these bolts out here that hold it to the top, we're gonna have to compress the spring a little bit, loosen the top nut, that way we can sneak these bolts past here to put the new ones in. You wanna make sure that you thread these bolts through the top hat before putting this all back together, because on the 18s, the way the bolts sit up against this piece, it doesn't allow you the freedom to spin these once it's all reassembled, so put these bolts through first. The remaining 1/2 inch of the lift is not threaded, so this will just slide right on top. Here's the completed assembly. Everything's together. I got this polyurethane piece that goes on top, and now we should be able to just mount this right back up. Now here is everything reassembled. The only thing that we did not put back on is this sway bar end link, because it's not going to go together until we drop the other side as well. Now we're gonna move on to the rear. This one is obviously a little bit different because you need to get into the inside paneling in the back to get everything off of here. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, and we're also gonna be adding the rear alignment kit. On the inside here, there's this little panel that comes out of the 18s. I'm not sure if this is like this on the older models, but makes it really convenient to get to these two top bolts here. So underneath the car now, this rear might be a little bit harder than we initially thought. We actually have to lower the entire subframe to fit the rear alignment kit in there. It's basically spacers that space it away from everything else. So we already dropped these two panels with a bunch of those little push rivet things. Super annoying, hate those. Now we actually have to drop the frame, right? This part's gonna get a little bit technical, so for people not actually doing this install on your own car, I apologize, but this is the rear alignment kit. You got 4 of the bigger spacers and then 4 of the smaller spacers. In relation to underneath the car, the 2 smaller spacers will go right here on this little bracket that supports the subframe. Ooh.
Hey, don't show them that.
Whoa. And then the bigger bracket will go right here between the frame and the subframe. So hopefully that gives you guys, anyone doing the installation, a little bit of knowledge of where these pieces actually go. Customers!
Customer satisfaction.
A couple minutes have passed, and now we have the rear alignment kit in place. As you can see, we have 1 spacer right here, another right here. This one lined up perfectly for some good subtle solution product placement. And then the support right here, we have 2 more spacers. We need to tighten everything down, and then we should be good to go. Just a tip for anyone doing this yourself, this was a little bit difficult to get these bigger spacer bolts back into the frame through the subframe. So what we had to do was lower the whole lift, set a jack under the rear diff, which kind of put everything back in alignment. That way we were able to put those back in and thread them. We now also have the rear shocks removed, knocked out the bolts to replace them with the longer bolts, just like we did on the front. And this is what they will look like when they're on. Jumping forward a little bit, again, we got everything back in place and tightened down. We even put these panels back in place. The only thing that we do not have in place are these 2 bolts here. So in order to put these in, we're gonna need to lower it, set a jack underneath the control arm to get everything lined up and put back in place. Then we'll have to tighten on the inside these 2 bolts. Should be good to go. All right, while we're getting everything wrapped up, we still have to do the front right corner. I figured I might as well show you guys the wheel and tire setup that I chose. I went with the Method MR502 V-Spec wheels, and I had them wrapped in the BFG KO2's all-terrain tires. Nick actually has these on his Highlander that's parked outside. He said he really likes them.
Forerunner.
It's a Forerunner. These are typically a race wheel, so there is no center cap here. Luckily, Subtle Solutions makes these little adapter rings that will fit inside of there, and then I can put a regular Subaru center cap in there to just kind of clean up the look of everything. These things are actually machined pretty nicely. It says Subtle on the inside there. Not sure if the camera can pick that up, but these are the ridiculously overpriced Subaru center caps. So I think I need to hammer these in with a mallet because I'm sure the fit's gonna be pretty tight. And then I have some new lugs to put on, locking lugs as well. Let's see if I can get these things in. As you can see, not the easiest thing in the world, but we did come up with a solution to get these things to fit. Basically what we had to do was go out and get some 180 grit sandpaper and sand down the inside of the wheel. The reason for that is because these are machined so tightly that there's a little bit of variation in every wheel depending on the finish that's on them and everything, but with a little bit of brute force, slamming with a mallet and a screwdriver, we did get everything fit. Center caps from Subaru, again, too expensive, but it is what it is. Just go in and pop into place. We went with some really nice McGuard lugs. They have these washers built into them, so basically we're gonna torque these down, get them nice and snug, which will crush the washers that are inside of the wheel. Back them off once it's on the ground, re-torque them, everything should be good to go. One of them is of course a locking lug, so no one steals my wheels. Although I'm not sure many people would steal these. Time to lower it back down. There you have it. It's gonna need an alignment for sure. Adjust the camber a little bit. The rear alignment kits, it does keep everything in line because without those, the rear would be completely out, but it does need to be fine-tuned a little bit. So I'm gonna set up an appointment at an alignment shop around here and hopefully get that done before I head back to New Jersey. Looks pretty good.
Quite a difference.
Let's pull this thing out so you guys can have a better look at it. All right guys, here is the final product. The lift, the wheels, the tires, the rally armor, everything installed, and in my opinion, it looks pretty damn good. Video is obviously not gonna do it justice, but I'm gonna be posting a ton of pictures of this car from here on out on Instagram as I put more stuff on it. I'll do some updates, more update videos in the future as well. Once I get the alignment and drive this for a little while, take it off-road, just do some road trips and stuff like that, I'll come back and let you guys know how I like the lift and the whole setup, the wheels and tires, how they sound at speed on highways and things like that. If it's anything like my cousin Nick says about the all-terrain tires, he says that they are really good, and as soon as they wear out that he's gonna buy another set. So this wheel and tire combination is really common. A ton of people with Crosstreks and in the off-road community have been using this for a while, so they're tried and true, and I think they look pretty good on the Crosstrek. If you want to pick up anything that you saw me just put on the car, wheels, tires, the lugs, the center caps, the adapters, even the mud flaps and everything, you can go down to the description and go to Subtle Solutions website. They were a huge help with this video. They got everything shipped out to me on time, and it was really nice that I was able to get everything that I needed from one place. So huge thanks to everyone at Subtle Solution for getting stuff out to me on time. I really appreciate it. I also really appreciate my cousin Nick. You want to come in again? Say hello or say goodbye? Hey! Bill, you want to come say bye? Since you really did the whole install. So huge thanks to both of these guys. They really helped me out. If you guys are in the area looking for some kind of performance upgrades or something European, something Japanese like the Supra, which is leaving. Bye Supra.
There's an S4 you can buy. It just came in.
There's an S4 that you
Fresh
can
off the
buy,
boat.
just came in. Yeah, definitely hit these guys up. I will leave links to their Facebook and their Instagram and everything down in the description below. Just shoot them a message, say what's up, tell them that you saw them on this episode of Stuff and Things. Anything you guys want to say?
Toodles.
I was gonna say toodaloo.
Oh, toodaloo.
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 Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. If you're new to this channel, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every week, and that is all. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.